We're back. See,
Hello.
We weren't gone
Hi.
long, were we? How y'all
Hi.
doing?
It was
Hey.
Bring Ha.
Guys, it was that emote. We were
Oh,
talking
God.
about that during the
God.
timer.
Oh God, bring
Eat
ha. Hello. Hi everybody. We're back with a short Grace Attorney stream. Shorter, yes. You know what? I'm gonna hit the button right here just so that chat can tell me how the music
Less
sounds.
than 4.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yes, definitely. Because we just finished up Neo: The World Ends With You for the final time. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we started up the trial of Pop Windabank's murder, and it really looks like Gina was aiming a gun at him in the night, and now we need to hear about how the jurors feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing our thing.
Our thing?
Our superpower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our approximation investigation.
Yeah. Emancipation Proclamation, whatever.
No.
Yeah, whatever it's called. What is this called?
Information examination.
Yes,
That
that's
was
right.
it.
Yes.
Information.
Nice.
Okay. All the evidence
Back
clearly.
I just put your clueless
Hi.
thing
Hi.
running. What's up, something?
Can I read yet?
Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay.
No.
All the evidence.
And another thing.
Oh my god.
I
Let her read the line.
It's probably happened.
All the evidence clearly points to the finger of guilt of this young pickpocket Tien. Tien?
As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated.
I don't want to see an optometrist about that.
I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out.
What?
If I left it in there, I should think there'd be repercussions by now.
Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission. A verdict to follow. Stop.
You're a robot. In motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent.
What do you
I hate
mean?
you.
What do you mean?
Oh, right. The circumstances of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively.
Indeed. So, chat, how are the volume levels? I would love to hear about that.
The storeroom, locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hands, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses.
Not to mention the print. Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the belly trigger. Well,
I'm firing up into the ceiling?
Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh dear. Hermes cameras were supposed to help, not hinder.
Discord
I'm
might be a teeny
afraid
bit
I-
quiet.
Mhm. Discord might be a teeny bit quiet. I can.
Taka taka taka.
Taka, taka,
Taka,
taka.
volume.
Taka taka
belly
taka.
thing.
Is that better? All right.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes.
Belly who? Yes.
Quite all right, yes. Oh, I'm afraid I think you will have an uphill struggle ahead of you.
But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windabank. Which means
She
there's
told me
more.
so.
Which means there's more to the situation that we've yet to see.
Agreed.
You have the floor, counsel. Proceed to the summation examination.
Okay, I will. Jury examination. Yeah. All right, yo, I want to talk. Hold it! You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Not his landlord anymore. Wait, what? I didn't press that button.
Too bad.
You're the lawyer chap. Well, there's a turnip for the books. Yeah, it was rather a turbulent time we had back then.
Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we?
Now, what are you saying there, lad?
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. This is not.
Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garrett house was the talk of the town after business. Lord has moved out. I couldn't get a balanced soul to take up tenancies.
Oh.
Never had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot. But not for us, that's for dashed certain.
I suppose not.
Course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously.
Obviously, but honestly, I really wish he'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. Oh, he is doing that.
Yeah. It's eyeing.
I mean,
He's
I
like
saw
hovering
it.
over
For
him.
fuck's
I-
sake.
He needs it because he doesn't have a maid.
My maid, yeah.
Yes, let's talk.
Everybody ought to have a maid.
Polishing the bench, I see, again.
A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain.
What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores?
On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick purses, and crossmen. The scum of the earth.
A little harsh, perhaps.
Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated.
Oof! I don't like you.
At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals.
You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rand's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital.
Fair
Mr.
enough. Get on that.
Mr. Sholmes, a maid? I assure you they have.
Yeah, almost guaranteed that exists already.
Yep.
It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective.
Yep, fifth assault, Maid Holmes.
Minor detail, it was the 2 brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant.
A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway.
Yes, all right. I shall amend my statement.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective.
Oh my god. You probably have something different to say. Hold it.
Hey.
I agree with you. Oh my god. The shooting of
little
Mr. Sholmes
aggressive?
was an unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Windibank.
I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir.
Sorry.
No.
No. This
Whether
is a
it
court
was
of law.
Whether it was the thieves or the pickpurse, it was still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the end. Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated, in my considered opinion.
Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this maid's mind is not going to be easy. Zippy.
Zap.
Really now, I was muted. It was one of those 2 brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it?
Yes, without question.
Well then, I'll never forgive them.
Oh, Iris.
Perhaps we can use this maid statement to help us somehow, do you think?
Yes, maybe. Let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say first. Yeah, I know. I think you'll find that if you look at the... Oh, wait, I already said this. Never mind. Hold it! What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally...
Oh my god.
It looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously. Objection! But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is that if you look at the same prints in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance...
Second
Are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's a height of modernity. Of course, yes. Yes, of course. Well, the thing that he's got in front of him is 2, but yeah, we only have 1 photograph that we're looking at. Oh, yes.
Any difference?
I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay, giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only it could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. Oh, no.
I'm curious about you, old man.
No,
Hold it.
come back.
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that.
Huh? Oh, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I am a surgeon.
A surgeon? That totally passed me by.
Of course, people conducting surgery in this country are considered to be doctors. Oh no.
They aren't?
They're surgeons. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field, I have a brain in a jar.
So, what is it that you think you left behind? Your brain in a jar?
Well, it's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday, and the thing went through the abdomen. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere.
Oh my god. Did this
What?
man leave his scalpel in Herlock?
Oh, did he? Surely not.
Exactly, surely not, you say to yourself, but don't you? Worrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what's been troubling me this whole time, but I'm sure if he bent, he'd probably know, honestly.
Ah!
Well, could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really.
That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter.
Medical malpractice.
That's exactly my concern. And seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember where exactly I have when I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure.
I'm sure you need to be more sure. Hold it! Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean?
Are you from the Far East? Stop.
Yes, from the Empire of Japan.
From my perspective, you're from
communicate.
the far west.
All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey.
But now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals.
How quiz. Why does she keep saying stop?
Because it's
That's
a
what you do when
radio
you-
transmission?
Right,
Yeah.
but why? Why do they say stop? You know.
So that you
So
know
that-
that the sentence is done?
Yes.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, that was it. Listen, I listened to radio in the 1940s, and there was a lot of things about it. I know a lot about it. It's fine.
Can I read my line now?
Yes.
Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it.
You are well informed, young lady.
Oh.
But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop.
And just when I was starting to catch up. Oh.
Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to 4 corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop.
What
Right.
are the 4 corners?
Try not to wear out your fingers.
Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop.
Stop.
And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys.
I can't believe you spoke up. Hi. Juror number 3, sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What?! Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do! Say that again! Go on, I dare you!
Gladly.
Mm,
Goodness, are you talking to me?
I think he just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh?
Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions.
It's a little bit of a toy. It's kind of a toy.
Yeah. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional.
What a great way to appease the man.
No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all.
Mm,
Yeah, stab
You-
her. Oh.
you just don't know.
Pardon?
I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before. What?
Have you got any, Runo? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope?
No.
If you insist. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. You want this one? Do you really want this one?
Yeah.
I was wrong. I can't actually think of anything
Really?
we could use it all.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
actually the crime scene picture they're talking about.
What?
Huh?
What? Really? Oh dear, I think maybe I need to have a stereoscopic look at your brain sometime.
What's that supposed to mean? What? No. Oh my god, fine, we'll read this. If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over.
But we know what Ginny would never shoot anyone.
Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and put them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. Ina's innocence.
Evangelion.
You again. Excuse you.
Excuse you.
Excuse
no.
me!
I'm a little worried that I'm gonna
What
accidentally...
excuse?
Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh. It's this line? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Great. I'm very angry about my toy. Respect my toy.
No.
My toy is so much cooler than your extremely revolutionary technology.
No.
Absolutely. Okay, before I say yes, does it want me to pick the crime scene photograph that we have here?
But we don't have a second.
Wait, to the left.
To the left.
Like the previous page. 2 more. Oh, that was the manuscript. I thought that was like the bunch of the crime scene photos.
Uh-huh.
Didn't we have like a bunch of them?
Can I see the map real quick?
Sure. Why are we looking at this?
Okay, it doesn't show where the cameras are.
Yeah, I think the
Oh.
cameras are on opposite sides of the room anyway.
Well, actually, they are pointing in the same direction, but they're not close to each other.
They don't
Yeah.
show like the same scene.
Do I just not have this yet?
Maybe, but I think it's...
I'm gonna try the photograph of Gina. How about this print here? Because it's all I can think of.
Mhm.
All right then.
Okay.
Juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Oh, are we gonna compare it with other shots that do not have Gina and Windabank in them?
That makes sense.
Very well then, I'd like for you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll immerse. Uh-oh.
Do we eventually get a second print that helps with this, I guess?
Uh-oh. There's nothing here. I don't think I have it.
I guess we don't have the evidence yet.
Here, have the same one.
Have the same picture.
Wait, sorry? What do you mean, one more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Don't you even for
Bruno.
one split second. What? I
You
know.
need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember?
I know. No, shut up! Shut up!
One for the
Absolutely
left
not.
eye and one for the right.
Shut up!
Yes!
No, no, no. I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation.
Amazing.
Well, if you obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to the young man then.
Ha 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 ha. I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Even though it's his first time making it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go talk to the Russian man now. Hold it. Please tell me you're not villain Borscht. The Russian revolutionary.
Revolutionary?
Duh, I believe there is such a rumor.
I'm so happy that we did not waste any time getting to it.
None of it.
It's just a rumor, huh?
As you'll see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal.
Your words, not mine. You want to just wanted to point that out.
People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat.
And which glove fits?
Oh, I thought it was a glove.
Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please.
Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having doubts.
To be treated like vicious criminal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look.
The Skulkin brothers?
Duh, maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. But I have done nothing wrong. That's all I want to say.
The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night? Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris.
What is it, Bruno?
The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they?
Yes! It's amazing, isn't it?
In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary?
I wish I knew.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. So first of all, those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. I guess, yeah, this pit that against that. Objection! Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
What do you mean?
Oh, Lord! Counsel, explain yourself!
Oh my! My statement? Contradictory?
Contradict.
In character, yeah. Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick.
I do not have stick. I have mouse.
Very cute. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene...
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Fled the scene on the night in question. They fired a shot from the revolver.
Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen. I understand.
Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear.
Abdomen.
Sir?
Sorry. My English is still learning.
You are telling the court you didn't hear.
Okay. Forgive me, I did not hear.
Oh.
Here is word abdomen, part of person's body containing a stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker.
Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again?
So, you are telling...
The mouse.
Not him.
No, the hand
Oh.
gesture.
I thought because the eyes of the mouse look like there. No.
You are telling me these... You are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying. They said before we never done nothing, but truth is they shot detective. This is double negative.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes. Oh,
No!
Lying is wrong. Especially when lie is said by a person who looked like criminal.
coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced.
This means... When they said, we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true?
Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so...
Enough! I trust no one now.
It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir.
I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself.
I'm afraid that won't be
Yes, it is, Runo. Easily.
Sorry?
I'm gonna bring out the pictures now.
Oh my
Here's the
god.
pictures now.
Oh my god.
With the prints from Hurley's red-handed catcher thing.
Oh my god.
Why?
If you compare the prints of the pictures of Ginny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not.
Oh my god.
Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor! Tut tut. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard a fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. So this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell. Nothing has been taken.
Now can we?
That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print.
So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot the man, but they stole nothing.
It would seem so, yes.
Good.
No, not good.
You were right. I did not understood the situation. But now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial.
Oh, great.
Cool.
Her too? I don't know why this would convince her.
Yay, well done, Runo. The balance is shifting.
Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we might just turn the situation into our favor still.
Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand the new photographic print to the bas-relief to be filed as evidence.
Good.
There we go.
Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. I think that's the first time that we've only had one person change their mind. Oh, wait. Hang on. You had a new thing.
In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict.
Okay. I'm gonna not change your thing just yet. No, wait. It was her. I need to talk to her. Okay, you.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you.
Taka.
Taka.
Oh, I think you can just talk to Juror 3 now. Too late.
Oh, seriously? Oh, well. Yeah. There you go. There we go. Excuse me, sir. I'm mad. Oh my god. The nerve of this lady.
Cry about it.
I just might at this rate. Absolutely, Iris. I do. How about this print here? You want to take it? Here, take the first one. Take that. All right, then, juror number 3. I got this one for you. I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print to analyze, and I'll amaze you all. Here. All right. These 2 prints were both taken with the same camera in Windibanks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereoscopic images work?
Yes, we do.
Do you understand the principle?
I understand.
Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. Oh my god! Absolutely not. No. Yes, exactly.
Why am I over this again?
I don't know. So what happens if you use 2 photographs that are exactly the same then?
Nothing happens.
No. Obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene 3-dimensionally anyway.
Oh. Oh! Of course, now I see.
Ah, I think the young girl has discovered a secret.
I have!
I did see a secret.
Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me?
Thank you.
Have a look at these 2 pictures from Hurley's camera, Reno. Go on.
Okay, I will.
Can see that there's a really obvious difference between them.
Okay, here I go. Trying to do this again. See if
I'm
it's
not
still...
bothering this
I'm gonna
time.
do it.
A really obvious difference. I actually don't really... Oh, it's
Oh,
the...
I see it. I see
It's
it.
the lamp.
Luna, you learned to cross your eyes?
Oh,
no,
the one on the right
I just
doesn't have
compared the
people in it.
photographs.
I'm still doing the eye crossing thing. I
It's
guess
like- It's kind of
guess-
subtle.
I guess I'm not seeing it. Are the things in the back moved ever so slightly to the right behind the scales? No?
No.
Actually, yes, a little bit.
Well, I think that's just so that it appears in
Perspective.
3D on
Maybe,
3DS.
possibly, yeah.
Huh. Well. Of course there is. There are 2 people in the first and no people in the second.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now... Try to look at the picture in 3 dimensions!
All right, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens? Oh, the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait.
Well, did you manage to see it properly, Runo?
Yeah, I guess. I did see it. Ah! What's going on with these 2 pictures? Some of the some of the things on the counter sort of, well, they jump out at you.
Yeah.
Cannot be bothered. Yes, that's it, you see. That's the amazing power of stereoscopes. other amazing power.
Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh?
Let's go over it.
Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that? Hmm?
So I was right. It was that. It was the fact.
Huh.
You were
Yeah,
right. I
it
looked
was.
at Doll's legs, and it was slightly shifted to the right if you compare it to the background of the curtain.
Yup. I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question.
Basic principles of the stereoscope?
As I said before, if you try to look at the two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. If the slight shift in the positions of certain objects... Oh, it's that lets you see pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions.
Yes, there must have been.
Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why the devil does this shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master.
What? Me? What? Well, I haven't the first idea.
You know, Runo, it's quite simple.
It is?
Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means...
Was
That
the
means-
desk, like, bumped or something and shifted everything a little bit?
Maybe. That
Well,
means
it
that
almost shifted the thing on the back end.
sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. What?
Zookers!
That's not a thing. Someone tampered?
New information. Stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop.
Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems, but I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom?
Are you suggesting you might know?
Why does this matter?
It's trying to say that the thieves were involved in the crime, I believe.
Yeah, but like, Gina and Windabank were found in that room back there. Isn't it likely that one of them just kind of elbowed it?
I think that what they're trying to say is just elbowing it wouldn't shift everything to the right.
Mm-hmm. Of course. I can tell you right now who's responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. I guess it's these guys?
No.
I'll just pick you. There you go, take that. Ha! It was the witnesses currently on the stand, the Skulkin brothers.
Wait. This does not agree with what brother said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy lockets. My phrase book says dukes is meaning hands, and Lucy lockets is meaning pockets.
You know that? Okay, fine.
He said his handbook said it.
It is in book. My Russian to Cockney translator book. But this is another lie? Is this what you are saying?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Now hold on there a minute. You can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through things on the desk to see what she might steal.
I think that's unlikely.
And why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windabank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. You know, her deciding to threaten Windabank into opening up the storeroom really doesn't match up with what I thought I knew about this character. Couldn't she just wait until he was gone and then, like, pick it?
Yeah.
Maybe he never left the room, so there was no such chance.
All of which
Yeah, this
points
guy
to
doesn't sleep.
one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony.
But the accused is a pickpurse. Common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here?
Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact, worse than a pickpurse.
No!
I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by 2 thieves?
Well said, Squeak. I, for one, would like to hear more about that shady pair.
Headbutt!
That time I saw it. Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. We played Spot the Difference, dude. Come on.
I mean, that spot there is a lot harder without being able to cross your eyes.
I guess.
Yeah. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop.
Yay. That went well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it would seem this trial has not yet run its course. Again, the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call the summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus, and I order this trial to continue.
Yay, well done! Oh, by the way,
What?
you should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might become useful.
You could have given this to me sooner. Fine.
No.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely. But all right. I don't know. Our juror here seems to have one thing on his mind, so I don't think we're done with this. It's mine.
Lord Van.
Zeke.
Say it all.
Oh, I wanted to hear him.
Sorry.
Zeeks?
Yes.
Okay.
Good job.
Now say it again later.
You will instruct the witness that the court demand additional testimony from them. Don't.
I wanna.
Don't.
I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord.
Just
Okay,
don't
spoil.
spill the wine.
Oh, you know I will.
I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until they've proven that Gina is innocent.
The chat pointed out there's a possibility Gina took the gun to prevent Vindyback from using it on himself.
I like that theory, actually.
Yeah. That is my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
theory so far.
She did it for his
Also
safety.
just- Also, just having a gun there, you don't really want the other party to have the gun.
True,
Yeah.
true. We haven't seen her pointed at him.
He broke the wine. It's gone. I know where it went.
Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. I presume you heard the defense's counsel's summation examination.
No, yeah, Governor.
I did, Gov. I did.
Slipped right through it, I'm afraid.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, if that is your real names.
Call!
Blimey!
This is going to be hard work. Early in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks.
Well, it was Bedlam soon as, wasn't it?
It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of my Lucy lockets.
However, that was a lie. You brothers,
Blimey!
on the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter.
We never done nothing of the sort.
How'd you figure that out?
I don't hate.
They've only pulled this trick out that they're doing with these boxes in this trial specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time you will tell the truth.
Each lie that passes through your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment.
God.
And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again.
I don't know.
I'm still white.
It doesn't look like the blood like dripped down. It just kind of evaporated into mist.
Yeah.
You see, my lord, these are gauntlets.
Oh.
Oh.
A thought worth pondering, perhaps.
Say no more, Governor. We hear you. We hear you.
We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach.
Yeah.
Well, Peach.
No peach.
We'll peach.
Illegal entry. The whole truth.
Peachy.
All right. We did knock over a few things, but we wasn't rifling for nothing.
It was when we heard the gunshots, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying.
I mean, it didn't have half it didn't have oh, okay. It didn't have give me a fright. We was thinking we were shooter come in the door.
How you doing, Jay?
That's a weird one.
First beaten than this. Complete your fucking words.
We stuck everything back where we found it and scuppered right into him in the black.
What? Oh, into me. I see.
We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we?
So you admit to the defense's accusations. You did indeed ransack Mr. Wendybank's countertop on the night in question.
Not ransack, Governor, no.
That's right, Nash. That's right. It's more like we tidied up. Yeah. Sorry.
By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good of their mess.
The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all.
You shot a man.
We don't, Nash. We don't. Can he make us sound a bit more cutthroat?
You are on trial. You don't want that. It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windibanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Gregson is checked out.
Dissociating.
Let's talk. Hold it. If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place?
Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we?
We ain't, Nash. We ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good.
outside around the fights in the neighborhood. Oh, wait, what's that, Ringo? Me old China?
What?
What?
Okay, China plate rhymes with mate.
Ah,
Oh my god.
Ah.
But, alright.
advanced slang.
More trouble.
Layered slang.
And in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, somebody had to work really hard to write this dialogue.
This is why it took forever for this game to be localized.
Because of these characters. That's exactly what you've done. Landed yourself in even more trouble, Gina 2.
That's rotten luck.
Says the rotten apple eater.
Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter?
We never ransacked nothing.
Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up.
Sorry.
That was Ringo. We're fine.
That was me.
Sorry. I'm a thief. I
That
stole
was
your lie.
me.
I'm sorry.
That was my
I
lie.
put it in me nugget or whatever the pocket was called.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what to say.
Lucy Lockett. So what you're saying is
Thank you. So very, very kind.
the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all these things off the counter? And Ash looks like Waluigi? Yup.
Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of knives needs to learn to keep his shirt on.
Look, it was loud, all right. Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up at that bang.
Big Bruv here screamed like a bloomin' baby, then fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot.
I got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked over them scales on the floor?
So you're telling me that all of this happened, it fell onto the floor, and then you put it back almost perfectly the way that it was? You've really mastered working quietly then.
What a racket! My granny would have scared back into her grave in a clatter like that.
So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise.
And then some! I mean, it was quite a mouse! A mouse and then a sudden bite!
Excuse me! Inspector Gregson! Do you have something to add? Gregson.
Oh, okay. Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels.
No, something to add about their testimony. You seem to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something?
Yeah. It's probably nothing, of course. Wouldn't even bother to mention it, only. Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details.
Exactly true, yeah. How about you just tell us what's on your mind?
Yeah. As you know, we brought these fellas in the yard for some questioning last night. And the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now.
Hey!
Ah!
Did he?
You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot.
Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell, now that you mention it.
Yeah. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. Can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas?
If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy!
We'll get it right this time.
That's it, yep. It's all coming back to me now.
Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details you have miraculously returned your questionable minds, sirs.
Hey.
Right you are, Gov.
You two are screwed. Just before so is this new then?
Yeah, this is new. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!"
So they're talking about what was happening in the storeroom? Does that mean that the murder happened just before Sherlock came in?
They must have heard something from the back room, yeah.
Guess so. So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously.
We did, Gov. We did.
Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell at all.
If you don't want to get shot.
Huh?
Give me that gun!
Bam! Kind of thing.
Oh. A career in acting tragically missed.
Aww.
And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell?
Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was.
From the storeroom where the victim was found dead.
And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windybanks.
On me granny's life. Of course it was.
On his granny's life! Of course it was.
Are you two not related? Or I thought you were.
It's a bit.
So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windybank and the sound of his voice?
Hey! So that would mean what?
Also, I'm just now noticing that their hats are supposed to look like an apple and pear
A
top.
pair. Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh yeah.
What, Nash? What? Any ideas?
What?
What?
Yes, Counselor, indeed it would. No. We didn't know the geezer would know.
How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy clobbering's giving us the evil eye?
If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true.
Okay, we're just threatening people now.
On me granny's life it is!
Oh, no, on his granny's life, it must be.
It's a good job. It's a good job his granny's dead. It's a good job his granny's
Yeah, it's a
dead.
thing. Don't worry
okay.
about it. Alright.
Okay.
Sounds like a hit job.
To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then heard the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor.
You make it sound like we're clumsy.
What?
Don't forget we tidied up after that good little boys. Anyway, the way I sees it, I touched my chin twice.
You're saying that Mr. Windybank had a gun in his hands and that you touched your chin twice?
Oh yeah, bet that was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other must have been pretty heated. I mean, just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot."
Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say.
What are you two on about?
Hang on. Did you say that they were pointing guns at each other?
I thought I caught that too. Is there 2 guns? Or 3 guns, technically?
That might be the contradiction.
Yeah.
Mr. Windybank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course.
Good grief! Extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night.
Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cook this goose proper.
Betty wished he squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun!"
And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot?
It was more or less the same time, Governor.
I'm now imagining the judge from this game having regular encounters with the horrible goose.
That kind of thing.
Is he Margaret's old neighbor?
Yes, a career in acting very tragically missed.
Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet.
Why are you high-fiving about that?
After that, we done a slapdash job tidying the place up.
Look at their smiles.
I love them.
They're pretty cute. Oh, wait, yes, sorry. Hold it! So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then?
Not on your life.
And went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up me. What?
I think that was it. I think that was the line, yeah.
Put the wind right up me. But anyway,
Okay.
the door was locked, weren't it? No way that was open.
Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe.
It was, Gov, it was! From the inside.
Right. So we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we?
Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through the keyhole or a spy hole, perhaps?
Don't ring no bells. Don't light no lights.
We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that.
We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day, his grandma died.
We'll really cut the mustard.
Please cut it out.
No.
But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away.
Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there unconscious with the gun in her hand.
To confirm, it would be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom.
That's right, Gov. That's right.
Couldn't have even if he wanted to.
Hmm?
If you wanted to.
Hold it!
Who says we wanted to?
Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there.
We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up.
If you're shaking like a leaf, then put a loaded gun in your hand.
Good advice, miss. Good advice.
Truth be told, me mind went totally blanky.
Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand.
Mental note made, miss.
After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or something, so they clapped up the derbies on us like winking.
So much vernacular that I'm learning here.
Like winking, blinking, and nod?
I don't know too. And after you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct?
Well, yeah.
But listen, that proves it, doesn't it? Me? Yeah.
Hold it. And why should we believe that?
Hey, what? Well, 'cause it's true, isn't it?
The place was totally empty when we went in.
At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had the gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windybank. Correct?
You've got it, mister.
Down to 18.
So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windybank. Is that really true, I wonder? That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony?
What is it, Reno? You look very fierce. I can poison my herbal tea if you're tired.
Actually, that sounds wonderful. Yes, please.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something important. It is
No.
nothing more than a feeling, though. I've no proof to support it. Yes, you do.
Well, feelings can be very logical at times.
Sorry?
People's expressions, the movement of the eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in and your brain will quietly analyze it and go with a feeling like you described. You conclude that there's something suspicious about with this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts.
Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Yeah, it's smart logic. Okay, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't... So it was way on about the fact that they never went into that room and that they've never met Windybank. So I wonder if it's got something...
only was one gun.
Yes, okay. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun." The bloke went on holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Well, he couldn't. You wouldn't know that unless you saw. Is that the problem?
Yeah.
That seems a little wishy-washy.
He should
though.
not know that Windybank had a gun. Because as far as everybody else knows, it was Gina that had the gun.
So far, that's my favorite. I'm gonna keep looking though. Let me. It didn't get. After give me a frame. I was thinking the shooter would come out the door and get us next. Suck everything back where we found it and scare her right back in the back. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, saying we didn't even have a chance. Maybe. Oh shoot. I'm a fool.
Oops.
I'm a fool, Iris. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Iris. You're very kind.
You're a fool, Reno!
Your words are very smart, Iris. I am a fool. I'm a fool.
I am smart, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Just before the gunshot, give me that gun. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna go with this. So present what? Present what?
Picture of
One
her with the gun?
photographs?
One of the photographs, you say, huh? Perhaps this one? The
That one,
photograph.
maybe?
The photograph of her holding the gun.
Yeah.
But
Does
should
not
the,
have a gun here.
should they even know that though? Because didn't they come in after they'd already gone into the room?
Well, what we're trying to prove here is that they knew that Windybank was holding a gun, but what we know, or what we see from this picture, is that he's not. So there's a contradiction there.
Fair enough. I don't even think that they would have ever seen this particular scene.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant to the case.
Okay. Objection. I like the sound of that. You're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windybank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct?
That's it, Gov. You got the picture.
Literally. He has that, Nash. He has. No question.
And yet the photographic evidence from the time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windybank was not in possession of a firearm of any description.
Oh, what now?
You surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence and compromise the position of the accused even more?
But
Furthermore, the defense has failed to establish that the photographic print presented was taken at a extremely short time prior to the victim's death. Your chronology Your chrono
Turn on.
trigger is severely lacking, Council.
Yeah, it's right.
Too right, Nash. Too right. The old geezer could have been about to turn the tables on the girl, eh?
Hardly likely.
No, I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence.
What?
Oh,
Continue
but it
with
didn't
the
punish
confirmation,
you.
Council. And heed my earlier warning, witnesses.
Skulkin's never skulkin'.
But
Huh. It didn't punish you, though.
Yeah,
But-
it gave you unique dialogue relating to that piece of evidence, but it didn't count.
does
I
that
don't
just
think I've ever seen
mean?
that before.
Should we
Per-
examine all our evidence?
Oh, that's a
Maybe.
thought. Man, there's so much. Perhaps this specifically? Oh, great. Yeah, this,
Ooh.
I don't think that this helps me at all. Okay, well, thank you
I have a
very much.
question.
Yes.
Can you look at the second photograph of this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wasn't seeing things before. Gotcha.
Wait, what's
What
that?
were you seeing?
I'm sure it'll be brought
Don't
up
worry
at some
about it.
point.
Don't worry about it.
The window.
Are you sure it's not already relevant?
The window doesn't exist here.
Yeah,
The window doesn't.
that's what I saw before in that last.
There's another
summation
thing.
examination segment.
There's another thing?
Yeah.
What?
Window.
Okay.
Love that dog.
So look at the door here, Jay.
The door. Red door?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Red
the red door.
Okay,
The door. The door.
Okay.
Do you remember what that door looked like when we actually walked into the scene?
Okay, look at
How
the.
did we see
Look
Gina?
at the door now.
Okay.
Mhm.
Red door.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something on the door?
Doorknob.
Okay, except for the
A little bit
doorknob.
higher.
Oh, the peephole. Oh,
Yeah.
because of the thing with the
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
door.
Okay. Jay's here. Jay's arrived. Okay.
Jay's
Cool.
got it.
Lazy door.
All right. Fold-up device that allows anybody to enjoy seeing. Yeah. Can we look at this? I don't know
I guess
why
we
this
didn't
would matter.
examine this.
It doesn't. How could it matter though?
You have to pop your eyes in your pop your two prints in here and start with you see.
I have to pop my eyes. Ah! And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the images in 3 dimensions.
The important thing is to get the right in the position of the two prints.
I don't know who came up with the idea of a stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. Very cool, you guys. You're doing so
Can you
good.
open it?
I would
Oh,
love
I'm
to open
sorry.
it. Is it this thing?
Maisie
Yeah.
is sleepy.
No. Oh, look at that. It's totally changed shape just from one little button press.
Well, that's what the button's for, Bruno. You're just like Hurley. You boys love pressing buttons, you don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do.
Yes, definitely. Us boys?
What is-
You will,
what
so they
does
have a
this
gun
button do?
that shoots doors. Don't worry, it'll make sense. Sorry, go ahead.
No, she's created this girl has created an object that does exactly that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It creates like little cat doors.
Yeah.
I was being serious. Yeah, that's exactly what's
Oh,
happening.
right, okay. Says the 10-year-old girl.
Anyway, now you can see that it really is a stereoscope, can't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we now examine something else in there?
Wait, how would I do so? What?
Like now that it was open, that there was something else to examine.
I'll try again. Okay. All right, team. All right, go. Go. Okay, you want me to check in here now?
Oh no.
Can we look at the eyepiece itself? No?
If that thing could talk, I can see exactly how the face would move, and now I can't unsee it.
The other side of it? Yeah.
What,
Find
up
that
here?
little tongue.
I
This?
saw the highlight when you highlighted that, yeah.
Yeah, that.
You got the pop your two prints here to start with, so you see?
And then when you look through the eyepieces, I'm pretty sure we read this. Okay. Okay, that seems to be nothing. All right, we're done with
Okay, I thought maybe you could use this to look at the two pictures again.
that. Maybe. Okay, so... What am I doing? We just looked at everything.
Well, can't you examine to like gain more information from the photographs, or can you just zoom in?
No. All I can do when I press the A button is bring up the magnifying glass. That's all.
Now, I wonder, you said you saw something, didn't you?
Yes.
That I don't know. I don't know what you're seeing. Is it the lamp?
Yes, the lamp.
Oh, well, we already mentioned that. Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
we
wait.
mentioned it.
Wait. I don't
The
think I saw
broken lamp in the
that.
corner? Yeah, I saw that.
bottom right lamp.
Did we mention that, though?
We did, yeah.
When?
Oh.
Oh, when we were first crossing our eyes.
Yeah, that, and also when we were investigating the scene. Okay. So, what are we
Well, does
doing?
the audience know that?
It's a great question. Let's see here. I don't know. It does seem logical to talk about this specific thing. Maybe it's one of those situations where you have to go back and re-examine something that you've already talked about. I'm actually willing to try that. Hang on. Press. You're saying that Mr. Winterbank, blah, 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 blah. Also, didn't Gregson speak up about something at some point?
Oh yeah, maybe, like, don't go the Gregson route.
Don't go the Gregson route? Like, let it go?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know which one of these that was. Well, I guess it's got to be one of the first two. Let's try that one. All right. Where's that moment at? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yup. Okay, they're talking about how they never knew Winterbank. Come on, Gregson.
Value your lives.
Come on, Gregson. Gregson! Was it the first one?
I wonder if then maybe the entire statement is gone, too, possibly.
Okay. I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try one more time. Because I don't know what else to try.
There was the old China comments.
Come on. Come on, Gregson. No, Gregson! Okay. It's not that. Who was thinking the shooter would come out the door? Oh, wait, that's not even the correct. Oh, it's this one. Okay. The bloke who owned the place was holding the gun, so he should have just fired then instead of the girl. Maybe I had to present the photograph first and now something else is relevant? But what? Uh-oh. Guys, I don't know what to do.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Press the later statements again, just to, in case.
I don't know. If the first ones didn't work, I don't know if those would work. Well, okay, is it maybe the picture of the crime scene or the autopsy? Because they should know that he was the one that shot, so why would they assume that he had the gun? Uh-oh. I'm gonna try it. Oh!
Huh?
So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winterbank, was wielding a gun, is that correct?
That's it, Gov. You got the picture.
Yes, Nash, yes. No question.
And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winterbank was not holding a firearm of any description. Hey! Okay.
Huh? You what?
Go on and bet it. That ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the accident. It would remind the court that Mr. Winterbank's gun was found at the scene, in Gina Lestrade's hands. Not only was it identified as a murder weapon, but was found in the accused's hands.
Yeah. That Mortala used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun.
Bam! Kind of thing.
Hold it. Stay exactly where you are, right there.
Huh?
If the crime had taken place as you've so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out.
Goodness, are you sure, Counsel?
You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where's the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments?
Oh, was he shot from behind?
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was because the
A
guy
victim's
wasn't
back.
miming-
Yeah. Take that.
but he's not.
According to the
What, Jay?
testimony. What's up, Jay?
What are you saying, Jay?
Oh, well, they were they're miming out the scene, and they're saying that the other guy also had a gun. In his acting, he's not holding a gun.
Well, no,
Oh.
that's not what they're saying anymore.
Oh, okay.
They're saying that if she had the gun, he would have lunge after it to try and take it, and that would make sense if he got shot in the back.
Gotcha.
The witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot.
Indeed. With the events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe.
Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
You're at a box. Look
Got
at
him.
you. But it's the God honest truth.
It is, Nash, it is! When he was shot that night.
The shopkeeper had a gun in his hand, and we saw it with our own bleeding eyes.
Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windibank holding a gun.
Something like that might have slipped out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. A lot of their dialogue goes automatically.
Yeah.
Order. Witnesses, explain yourselves at once.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't supposed to.
It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witnesses would be the death of you.
Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies?
Oh, ever so sorry, Governor. The truth is,
Cut it out, Nash, cut it out! If we blab now, you know what it'll do to us.
He? Who were they talking about? I have a theory.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I think
Let
I
me
know
make you-
exactly what you're thinking.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
No?
Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk.
What you're thinking?
There is no other option available to you.
Ugh.
Bruv, come on. The game's up.
But he'll have our guts for garters.
In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet. No matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out.
On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place.
Do we have to?
On pain of death. I suggest you make yourself fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth.
Uh-oh. Witness testimony.
All right. So we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug.
Give me that gun, he said. He bellowed and then he flew at us like we was possessed. I thought we ate it.
For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter.
Wow.
I pulled me gun on him and then he legged it through that door into the back room.
We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear.
So you're now telling us the moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom. You in fact encountered him on the main part of the shop.
Well, yeah. Sorry. Well, we find ourselves in an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Governor, this time,
This time, Nash. This time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
Very well. Counselor for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination and
Yes.
destroy them.
Yes, my lord, I will. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. I'm gonna destroy these two. Cross-examination. Okay, let's talk. Hold it. When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windibank.
Who else? Sorry, I mean, that's right.
we was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought that no one was gonna come out of the back room like that.
The back room being the pawnbrokery's storeroom.
Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place it could have been.
Now, interestingly, they're not talking about Gina at all. Does that mean that Gina was already in the storeroom?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises. Which means Ginny must have been there at that point as well.
But that doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Windibank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? I don't think she did that.
Oh, I don't know.
Did you see the accused at that time?
What, the mole tooler? Couldn't tell you.
No way, Copper. We ain't bigger fish to fry, then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. You got
Whoop.
guns. Boom, you shot somebody.
Hold it. You mentioned that Mr. Windibank shouted those words in your previous testimony, too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them from the other side of the storeroom door.
Oh, did we?
So did he direct that at you? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you was... Okay, I understand.
Well, yeah.
Was the victim Mr. Windibank wielding a gun at the time?
Was he ever? Blimey lummy, a great ugly barrel he had pointed straight at me frontispiece.
Frontispiece? So what you're...
Front-
Hang on. Frontispiece.
Frontispiece.
Frontispiece. That's not a word. Don't make up words. So what you're saying is you definitely saw Mr. Windibank with the gun at that time. Is that right?
It is, Gov, it is. Spot on.
Then all of a sudden he came at us, he did.
It was Bedlam. I didn't know who was going after who.
You were clearly all going for each other.
Like Nash said, we thought we had it. I mean,
Hold it. Yes, I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too.
well, yeah, of course we did.
He knocked over a load of books and a candlestick and some other whatnot.
I got tangled in some marionette, one knocked over a picture frame, one knocked over them scales on the floor.
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter.
Well, Big Bruv here went flying over the counter like a gunshot, I tell you. And then the old geezer pinned him.
He did, Nash, he did. If you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a bloomin' pancake in seconds.
At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim.
That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they?
Poor Mr. Windybank. He did everything he could to protect his shop.
Hold it. Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windybank?
Oh, no, never. I was just, you know.
Don't high five.
Just look out for me, Bruv, would I? He was being flattened, don't forget.
By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes.
And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed a gun at him. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away and then ran out through that door and turned himself in.
There's something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true.
I wonder why Mr. Windybank ran away into the storeroom.
What?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for him. With a gun.
Oh, yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Windybank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. She was already unconscious at this time, wasn't she? Huh. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windybank's hands again?
I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it?
This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it.
Look, the point is me and me Bruv here.
That's right, Nash, that's right. Me and me bruv here.
Uh-huh. Oh, leaning. One more. Hold it! You say you had nothing to do with it?
Nothing at all.
Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he?
Locked it was from the inside.
We know it was because he tried to open it.
Oh, was.
What? But it's a decent dog, that one. Good and strong. Wouldn't budge an inch.
Did you
Some
only
would.
just get that?
I was thinking of the wizard.
So in the end, the situation remains unchanged.
Or the Scott.
The Scott.
Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused Miss Gina Lestrade.
Bah!
It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, Counsel?
I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Windybank? Pardon? That's not a question that I was expecting right now.
Could have been, because if there wasn't, then we'd lose the case.
Yeah, he's got it. I think he's on it.
Quint.
What does this look? Have
Squint.
we seen him like this?
Squint.
We haven't seen him without his hat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I could just say this, but do I have any way of proving that?
No.
No.
It'll lead us in the right direction.
There could have been!
Oh, yes.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Hey, what?
What's that look for?
From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely.
It did?
What is your point, my learned friend?
The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Windibank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all.
You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be?
Counsel? You must now provide answers to the court in respect to the two conundrums.
2, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe?
Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Understood, my lord.
Are you alright, Bruno?
I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely.
So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the question posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun.
Uh-oh.
If I had to guess, it was behind the door to the store, right there,
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
the kitty hole.
That
Kitty.
does make sense. Take that!
Did it.
The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here.
What is it, Jay?
That's where the Gina was.
No.
No.
Gina was in the room.
She was in the locked room.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We are saying she was outside. The shooter was outside.
Oh, I thought you were pointing to inside. They're shooting through the people. Like,
No.
That's
yeah,
correct.
from the outside.
Yeah, that is what we were saying.
That's
but
correct,
she's in the
yes.
room.
Yeah, and they're shooting from the outside of the room.
Oh.
We're saying the shooter's location, not the shootee.
Okay.
And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time?
In here. Still in here. Take that. The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Shittiest locked room mystery ever.
Continue.
Mr. Windibank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony,
I pulled the gun on him and then legged it through the door and in the back door, the back room, that one back there.
Yes.
if Mr. Windibank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time.
Ah!
It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom.
Yeah!
Ah!
Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the findings of the Scotland Yard's coroner. His report said the bullet entered the body from the rising diagonal trajectory.
Ah.
Oh, he was laying on the floor.
It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Poor man. Shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety.
So did he and Gina knock each other out? Is that why?
Or are they saying that...
Oh!
Wait. They shot him and then closed the door?
I mean, that's what they're saying right now, but I still don't think that's right.
But they're
Ah,
saying
of
it was
course.
from the inside.
He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. Yeah, I think that he just shut the door, locked it, and then somebody came along and created this outer door and then shot in through it. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered the body on an upward trajectory.
So if the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Windybank.
Got it.
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside with no possibility
Oh my
of peeking
God.
through it. You claim the victim was shot as soon as he fled into the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock?
Okay, so now you're the silly one, sir. But
No one has talked about the lock or the flap.
What if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door.
What if the door wasn't locked?
Is that so?
Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside?
Not you?
Not
Is it-
you.
Is it not you? Why would it not be you?
I
Hang
don't
on, I was-
think.
Very well. Why would it not be him? What is the problem?
Well, if
with
it
They're
isn't
this?
saying-
him,
okay.
who else?
So here's the play action. So what they're saying is that our two friends on the stand here are the ones who shot Windybank as he entered the storeroom.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't have locked the door because he was dead on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody else had to have locked that door from the inside, supposedly.
Well, with that thought process, I guess it's it. Yeah, her.
Well, could Tall Man have reached in the cat door and locked it?
That's also
I don't
possible.
think so. I think like the police tried, but they had to like force the door open when they got there.
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
That's absurd.
And why is it absurd?
You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room. For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck.
I am inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel?
There were two dudes with guns outside. Yes, that's a tricky one, that, isn't it?
Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it?
It does?
Bruno, you fucking idiot! If I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars just had fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they?
So wait. Are we saying that the door was closing, Windybank got shot, then Gina shut the door and locked it?
Yes.
I don't think that that's gonna be what's actually right, but okay. Oh yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windybank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that point, but at some point, Mr. Windibank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom.
Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv.
That's us.
If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom.
Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Are you guys good with going a little bit longer to end at a good spot?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Chad has told me there is a good spot nearby.
Bang! Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment?
Nah, I see where you're going with this.
Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windibank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it.
Wait, that's your voice?
Yeah.
But
False.
I ain't. I mean, we ain't the ones who done it.
We ain't, Gov, we ain't. You've gotta believe us. I mean, come on, we'd never shoot no one.
That's just bullshit. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my very own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windibank's murder.
What?
Well, where does this leave us?
Where the hell is my scalpel?
Caged dog wheelage.
That was amazing, Reno.
Don't you dare.
All the members of the jury seems to be firmly on your side now.
I know, first time ever, and probably the last.
Well, I think you've done it. Sure, they'll give a guilty verdict of not.
Hi.
Have you done that before?
An admirable effort, my learned friend.
What's this now? He's laughing.
You find this situation amusing, Lord Van. Zykes.
No!
I do indeed, my learned friend, and I'm
Damn.
tired of pretending it's not.
I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive.
Marvine. I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread of butter of the street performers in your provisional Eastern nation.
Nobody asked, Fenzix!
But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusably pettifoggery here.
You're also making up words at me, you...
The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly, credibly cannot and will not stand.
Showing off.
Nope.
Because you see, it contains a fatal flaw.
A fatal flaw?
Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing?
I say, Lord Van Zeeks. Might be an idea to explain this ballet conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground.
The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. It's actually like really is simple.
It's simple.
Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets.
By George, count bullets! Why would I do a thing like that?
Oh dear. You know this then.
Meh? What does everyone talk about?
Council.
Eh? Yeah, yes, sir. No, don't you get like that. Come on.
Tell the court how many bullets are found at the scene of the crime.
2. 2 bullets.
Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene.
Is there perhaps a third bullet still in Herlock?
I think what they're trying to say is that in the calendar, the blood is Herlock's.
Yeah, but we never tested that.
Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar.
Sherlock, your blood is green.
Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident.
Is Herlock a xenomorph? Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no! The revolver belonged to the victim, Mr. Windybank, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence showed that a single bullet was fired from each gun.
Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each.
Now then, my learned friend,
Bit.
you yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes.
Yes, I did. I did see that. Oh my goodness! I think you'll find.
That if the single bullet was fired from the brother's gun, Mr. Sholmes, it means...
Windybank not shot by same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop.
Okay,
Are you
but
just missing outside of the courtroom?
what about? Did the brothers only have 1 gun between them? They didn't have a second?
Guns are hard to get.
That seems unlikely.
Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a divisionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny.
Do it. Do it.
Order.
No. Oh my god.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery.
Lord Van Zykes!
You
No!
fucked it up again!
Ah! There's no saving.
But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. Yikes. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct.
I don't want to talk
Okay.
about her past. I want to talk about her now.
Lord Van Zoinks.
The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. As you can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with a murder weapon. And I have here, in my possession, one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present.
The disc.
I'll be taking that whatever it is of that's McGilden's voice. I'll be checking that. What? Gosh. Okay. Right.
Give me back my voice.
I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilden's down to the yard. Thank you very much. Rough.
No, don't give it to him. That's mine, that is. Mine!
I'm sorry, miss. Anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now.
Yes, that music box disc. Mr. McGilded's music box disc.
The very day before the hateful murder of Mrs. Windybank. The accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with some, none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add. But by brute force and brazen inaptitude.
Oh, shut up and give me it so I can test the blood. Give.
Good gracious!
What do you mean test the blood?
Give it to me so I can
Science.
show you.
Give.
Give.
Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths of which this girl would not stoop if pushed. No crime she would not commit.
Conjecture.
The court forgets that fact at its peril.
I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music disc into evidence council.
Give.
Give. Oh,
As
what?
a
What?
grim
Lord Van Zeeks,
Inspector Gregson, give.
Yes, Inspector.
we had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and I think it was agreed that the disc wouldn't be used as evidence.
That's even more suspicious.
What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all.
I am unaware of any such meeting.
But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent.
Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you.
Well, there goes the peace treaty.
The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord.
Indeed. Baffleaf.
Yeah, it's mine now. It's mine.
The prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character.
You can do nothing to stop me. Here I go. All right.
Blood. Look at that blood.
Oh, Rudo! Look! This is blood! Give me the gun!
I know. Give me the here's your gun. Have your gun. It's just a small spear. It's
Do
definitely
it,
blood.
do it.
Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before that you should shoot the blood with the thing.
Uh-huh.
My time to shine! Gun! Gun!
All right. Gun.
Stand still, Rudo!
Okay, here we go. Go.
They should have a gun.
Gun. It just turns red. It's just red. It stays red. Is it green? It's gonna be green, isn't it? It is green.
Yeah.
Green.
Ew, a lovely bright shade again.
That guy was also a xenomorph.
Or...
Wait, that color. Because this blood came from Benedict, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, that color.
Eggman.
What is it?
It's just the green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Colors.
God, do we call it there?
Colors.
Do we stop there? Is that the spot? Do we do that? Is that what happens?
Is there gonna be a to be continued spot soon, chat?
Dragoni.
I don't know about to be continued, but maybe like, I don't know, the beginning of something or a question. I don't know.
Maybe.
Now we can green screen the area.
Let's go!
Very good.
I mean, you can do that with any color if you want to.
You know what? Real quick. Not a but go a few more lines.
Go a few more lines.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go a few more lines. All right.
There is nothing more to say. We have nothing
We have
to
nothing
discuss.
to discuss.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case.
I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once, and now for all of 5 minutes.
Oh dear. It wasn't even 5 minutes, Runo.
It's probably one.
Susumoto?
My
Suzumoto.
lord.
Who is Suzumoto?
I am combined Susato and Suzukichi.
My lord. Wonder if I might say something at this point.
Proceed, Foreman.
Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told. Must be the pipe. But all of a sudden, the answer's barely obvious to me and my men. And there's only one thing for it.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
No.
Guilty.
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 Guilty. Stop.
Guilty.
Bonk.
Bonk.
Would you not? Could you stop? Wow! It exploded even.
We have a consensus among the jury, it seems.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Hey.
Hey, that's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. How dare you use it against us?
Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That's beyond any doubt.
Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day.
He doesn't even wait for me to request it now. He's just like, of course we're gonna do that. Let's do it.
Well, yeah, he's done that every time.
Yeah.
Why would you stop now?
Yeah.
Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready?
Garrett Squadron is primed and ready for action, sir.
Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty.
Making for a perfect to be continued.
On what grounds do you
Yeah.
find the defendant to be continued?
Can you start the music before we save?
Oh, you know what? I like that idea. The jurors' contentions. Now shut up. Great. All right, that's good. Now we'll start off with music next time. That was a smart plan. Okay, well, this is an exciting episode. Lots of cool new
Yeah.
info on this one. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God, what's going on? I'm glad that we got to find out that that was his Benedict's blood just before we stopped. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't even know why we need to have the summation examination. We could have just opened with that. Now, before you shoot those fireballs, allow me to show you this. All right. Well, that's it for.
Tampering with evidence.
Yeah, that's it for Neo Toiwi, except for Saps' secret episode that nobody knows about. And also, we're gonna be back to this game probably next week. Probably. I mean, we have so many things
Probably.
wrapping up this week that we'd be kind of hard pressed to not continue. Yeah,
I'll
Like,
talk
Ne-
with the dog. We'll work things out.
we'll talk about it.
Neo ended, therefore, or like, it's ended, except for the bonus episode, but it's not going to take another stream slots.
Nah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was Neo Stereo Scoop Soup. And Xenomorph Soup.
And tomorrow, we will see you for Pokemon Legends.
Ooh, look forward to it. That's gonna be the beginning of that series.
Yes! I'm ready to
Alright.
die in the non-Nuzlocke
I
setting.
don't even know what it's.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would do it as
I don't
well.
know. I'm excited. I know nothing.
Is it a Nuzlocke? I guess we'll find out. Who knows?
No.
Nobody understands. Nobody knows. All right, everybody. That's it for us. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night.